Is the podcast a little bit too long for you? Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you don't have the patience. Love Neandertalk Podcast, but can't listen to it in front of your kids because, well, I've got a potty mouth. Good news, everybody. I introduce to you now Primordial Ooze. It is a roughly 20-minute segment of the podcast of each week. And some past ones where I just take about 20 minutes out of that episode. I clean it up. I take all the cuss words. So that way even my mom can listen to it. And it's about 20 minutes long. So if you just need something to listen to on your way to work, I'm hoping this is it. And I hope it maybe gets you interested in listening to more of the episodes that I have, especially for the 20 minutes long. And don't forget to support me if you would like at patreon.com/Neandertalk Podcast. It really means a lot. You guys really have no idea how much just $1 a month can go towards me. And I appreciate everybody out there listening, supporting me, liking my Instagram posts, subscribing to my channels. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. And I hope you enjoy Primordial Ooze.
Primordial ooze, also sometimes referred as prebiotic broth, is the hypothetical set of conditions present on Earth around 4 to 3.7 billion years ago. It is a fundamental aspect to the heterotrophic theory of the origin of life.
Toriano Porter, this dude's amazing. You guys are going to like him. I know I do.
Between February 22nd, 2008 and September 28, 2009, my world was rocked. First, my best friend of nearly 23 years was gunned down in cold blood in North St. Louis. He was 33. The next year, my closest friend from high school took his own life at age 35. One day later, my son's older half-brother died at 19 from gunshot wounds. Less than 4 months passed before my 16-year-old son met a similar fate. 2 days before my firstborn was murdered, my stepmother lost a courageous battle to breast cancer that eventually spread to her brain. 5 deaths in less than 2 years, 4 of them in the same year, 2 violently. 2 died within days of each other. That happened twice. I've often spoken to challenges.
How old are you?
I'm 48 today. I'm 48 years old.
48.
And I'm blessed. And the reason why I say I'm blessed is because
The crack epidemic,
man,
you know?
trust me.
Like that, you were in the thick of it.
Trust me. When I tell you, man, it I can't even say close to home. It hit home.
Yeah.
It hit home.
Right.
It hit home. It's it. It hit home. Mom, dad, and older brother all sold drugs. They all sold cocaine. They all sold crack. My dad and my big brother, older brother, by 2 years, they both went to the penitentiary for selling crack. Mom and dad used that, man. You know what I mean? Like my senior year of high school, I'm coming home. They didn't kicked in the house because my mom's selling it. So
How much are they
crack.
selling?
We got kicked in, bro.
But I don't even know what that means. I don't know if they're kicking you in for an ounce.
Well,
I mean, an ounce is a lot of coke.
I'll tell you this. My big brother did go to jail for 13 years for an ounce of crack. But my mom was a drug kingpin, or queenpin, as I would say. I'm not making this up.
I'm not saying you would
that's
be.
That's what the local newspaper called it. She's on the front page of the news when they kicked our house in. But, this is what I grew up in. So when you grow up in these type of environments, certain things come with that. Including grit and toughness. Mm-hmm. So I was able to learn grit and toughness from my mom, my dad, my brother, just being a hustler and being able to take care of myself and my family. I've always wanted to flip that to do something positive. That's why my book, The 5 People You Meet in the Hood Before You Get to Heaven, I wanted to turn the premise of hood on its head and make it a special place, a community. And I did grow up in a community,
You did a good job of doing that. You didn't shy away from any of like the bad stuff, quote unquote bad stuff, but you did highlight that like this is home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is a community. Like this is best friends. Like I make connections. Like I love this person. I don't care. Like if we're doing this kind of drug and that kind of drug, whatever. Don't. This is just what we do. This is real life.
Yeah. Man, I was so fortunate that my older brother and my best friend, they were kind of like, my dad was gone. He was in the penitentiary, so I didn't really have, a father figure. And so my older brother, by just 2 years, and my best friend, who was actually 6 months younger than I, they were both what I would consider protectors.
Mm-hmm.
They were always like, hey, man, you have something going on, even at 15, 16 years old. Like, you're going to do something with yourself, man. This is not for you. So I was fortunate that I had that. But as you know, I'm a reporter. So I've always been an observer and a storyteller. So it's only natural for me to write about what I witnessed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not innocent in none of these things. I've participated in my fair share of things, right?
Yeah.
You know, my hands are dirty in a way, you know, never did anything.
Not too dirty.
Not, right. I was going to say, never did anything that was going to send me to the joint, you know. But, you know, when you live in this environment and you're trying to survive, you do what you got to do. And my hands got dirty a little bit, but not too much. I just had enough wherewithal to know that I wanted to do something better with myself. And then where I come from, I've seen it all too well. You end up dead or in jail, or you end up hooked on substance. So I never wanted any parts of that life.
How did you get into writing? Was there a book? Was there like a book that you just fell in love with, or a writer, or a poem, or a person? I don't know. How do you get into writing?
There's a
writing's
remember.
It's a different kind of art form.
Yeah.
It's not so. I mean, everybody can write, quote unquote. We've all written. We all know our alphabet and put them together on paper.
Well, we all don't do it for a living.
Yeah.
Right. People I know hate writing. So yeah. So I was 12. I'm gonna say I was always an avid reader, right? And so any great writer will tell you to become a better writer, you have to become a better reader. Like, anyone will tell you that.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I started off, excuse me. I started off as a reader, avid reader first. My mom got me a library card when I was 9. One of the best things she's ever did to me in my life, man. I still have one to this day. I've been going to the public library since I was 9.
I love
it's a great resource, man. You know, and so
I got some overdue books right now.
You feel me? I think I still owe St. Louis Public Library from when I was 9. I had 3 or 4 books I never took back. But you know, karma is karma, man. So my books were down there in the public library in St. Louis. I had 10 at one point. Now I'm down to 3. Someone literally took the Pride of Park Avenue out of the public library in St. Louis and never brought it back. That's karma, because I know I done it twice when I was a kid.
I would look at it as like, dude, this dude liked this book so much.
Yeah.
They had to keep it.
They had to keep it. And so, you know, you grow up reading. And so at the age of 12, I was in 7th grade at a predominantly white middle school. In case your listeners don't know, I'm an African-American man. And so I went to elementary, high school, and elementary, junior high, and high school at a predominantly white place in Eureka, Missouri, right? It was rural Missouri.
Wow.
Yeah, I was bused out there, man. Part of the voluntary desegregation program. So I'm bused from South St. Louis, 27 miles away from my home. You know,
talk about what do they call that? Like, just not schizophrenia, but I mean, you're completely,
culture shock.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, but you're going from one, like, being one person, and I don't know if you're trying to be another person, but that's
you know, one thing I always prided myself on was staying consistent and solid. I never did the code switching thing. I just never did it.
Okay, good.
Even as the 11-year-old 6th grader.
Nice.
I stood in my blackness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I knew where I was at. I knew, you know, even at that age, I knew that you had to kind of assimilate. And so I did. And I followed the rules. Mm-hmm. I did get suspended a couple of times by time out there, but it was warranted both times. You know, 6th grade and 9th grade, it was all me. I put my hands on somebody. You got to go home for a couple of days. It happens, right? But so I experienced a lot, man, you know, just dealing with it. But I always said, I'm going to stay solid with who I am as a person. So I never switched up my voice. I never switched up who I was. Now I can navigate different.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
I can navigate different areas in my life, man. But I just never wanted to switch up. I always just wanted to stay solid. So people that know me from the time I was 11, that know me at 48, they could tell you I'm consistent and I'm solid. And I never switched up. I always stayed true to who I was. And who I am is just a black man in America just trying to.
You go back to the hood and you're like, hey, guys, would you guys like to go kayaking?
And listen, hey, it's funny now, man, because I did grow up in a rough, scramble environment, but I'm an urban yuppie now, and I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I drink coffee and bourbon. And, I don't go kayaking because I'm scared of water, but, you know, I would, you know. So I ride bikes, you know what I'm saying? Like, go to the hood, they look at you crazy, man. No, man, just growing up, man, I had all that. So this is how I got into writing. So I'm in this predominantly white space in the 7th grade, and we played a game in social studies called current events, right? The teacher would put us in like these teams of 5. We had buzzers and everything.
I love that.
Friday.
I loved when we used to. Of course, it was on a Friday.
Yeah, so I'm about it, right? And I'm a competitor. You know, I want to win at everything.
I'm not even smart, and I'm trying to compete at trivia.
Real bang bang. So the teacher is reading these questions, man. I don't know. I'm like, and I didn't like that feeling. I did not like that feeling. I felt like a dunce. Again, you gotta understand, I'm a young black boy from South St. Louis, and I'm in this predominantly white institution, and I'm like, I don't like how I feel right now. And so I didn't know any other answers. The one question I tried to get right, I missed. And so after
that makes it even worse.
Makes it even worse. So after it was over, I went up
hot
to the teacher.
And sweaty, you get the pits.
All of that. I'm feeling real slow, man. Like if it was a cartoon, I would have that big hat on. You feel me? And so I'm feeling real slow. And I went up to the teacher, man. And again, I've always been an advocate of myself. Like I'm my biggest advocate. I'm going to speak up for myself. And I said, Mr. Sharp was his name. Mr. Sharp, man, this stuff is not in my homework. It's not in my notes, not in my book. How am I supposed to know this stuff, man? He's like, son, the name of the game is called current events. Go home, watch the news, read the newspaper. Man, I've been doing that every day since I was 11 or 12 years old.
Okay.
37 straight years now. I was 12 when he told me that. So the next week
you can tell he spent all his time on current events and not math.
You feel me? I came back that next week and I was like Rain Man. I knew everything. I answered all that. I broke the record for scoring that game and in that season. I was killing it, man. This is before this is before pot, and this was before concussions because I was a college football player. This is before all of that. I still could retain things now,
Sharp
now it's like it's touch and go now. But back then, everything I read I could retain. So I was just bang, bang, bang. And being a competitor, people was looking at me like for real, like I was Rain Man. It was wild, man. And so from that point on, I've read every single day. And as you start reading, you get older, you start picking.
It was current events that got you hooked?
Current events.
That's funny.
Yeah. And so
it wasn't a book, it wasn't an author, it was just
it was current events.
Where were you getting your current events in the
St.
90s?
St. Louis Post-Dispatch, the newspaper, the daily newspaper. So
listen up, kids. That's a newspaper. You guys don't have those anymore,
right?
But this
right,
is
straight
not going
print.
to Yahoo.com or Google.com.
No,
this is
your local paper,
black and white newspaper.
Print, man.
Getting it on your
hands. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And so growing up, when I hit college at 18, I knew what I wanted to do. I majored in journalism, and I minored in creative writing. I wanted to be a newspaper reporter and write a book. And I'm doing that every day, man. It's beautiful.
You called it.
You
put it out there.
I called it, and I chased it, and it's happening. So I'm walking in my dream. That's why I tell you, I'm blessed. I can't complain about nothing. My life ain't perfect. I'm going to be real serious with you. I was in Omaha to speak at a funeral of a gentleman who I did not even know.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know this man. His brand new wife messaged me on LinkedIn and said, I'm looking for someone to speak at my husband's funeral. He committed suicide, and I came across your name. And I wanted to get a professional speaker and not just somebody off the street. That's never happened to me a day in my life, man. Someone asked me to come speak at a funeral. I didn't even speak at my own son's funeral. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I didn't know what it was. Like, sign from God, maybe. It's funny because when I got the message, I was in the church. First time being inside the church since COVID shut everything down. And I was like, oh, well, maybe this guy talking to me, right? And so I reached out to the lady, and it's true. Her husband took his own life. She wanted me to come give some words, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to these people. I don't even know these people. But one of the first things I told him was, I'm not a grief expert, and I'm not a grief counselor. I don't know why I'm here. God sent me. And so that's where I'm at, man. I don't want that, but if that's what God wants for me, to be a beacon of light for anybody that suffered tremendous loss, then that's what I'm going to be. Nelly threw matter of fact, it wasn't even Nelly. They had the
Do you know Nelly?
Yeah. They not like I can't pick up the phone and call the dude, but we played a little ball together back in the day. Amateur baseball coming up.
That's right.
That was my shortstop. That was my guy. I was the center fielder. He was my shortstop. We made history together. We were on the first African American team to ever play in the St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association League. That's the high school. That's the top notch high school league in the summer. We had an African American team in it.
Oh, an African American team.
Yeah. We were the first.
Was it designed to be that, or it just happened to be that?
No, it was designed to be that. Our sponsor was University City. It was called Squad 1 Sports.
So you guys were probably the best team because you wouldn't let white people on your team.
We were 3-23, sir.
Really? What happened?
White kids know how to play baseball.
Are you sure?
What happened?
Are you sure white kids wasn't Cubans?
No, it was straight. These dudes was ball players
Really?
from Ellisville and freaking Baldwin and Manchester. Man,
Okay.
we were good athletes, but when it came to baseball and
Okay.
in that league, I'm telling you, these were some of those dudes that played in that league ended up in the major leagues.
I will tell you, I quit baseball. I thought I was good at baseball.
They start throwing that curveball at you.
And then I started playing against Canadians. I lived in Michigan.
Okay.
And these Canadian teams came down.
They showed you, huh?
I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I got struck out looking. I was like, what? Wait, what? Nobody throws that fast here. What? I was like, I'm done. And then the week before practicing, I got hit in the wrist on a cold day, and then the Canadians sealed it for me.
Yeah.
I'm done.
That's funny you said that because I have a similar story. I was at a JUCO playing. These JUCO dudes are draft eligible, right?
Yeah.
Like they can get
I
drafted.
played JUCO soccer.
Dope. People sleep on community
Yeah,
colleges,
they do.
but listen,
They do. That's where the really good people who are dumb go.
Exactly. I'm standing in there. You know, I've hit over 300-400 my whole life because but it's little league, it's high school. The ball's not dancing like it's going to dance at the college or pro level, right?
Right. There's no movement.
No, and so I can hit a straight ball.
Yeah.
I just have enough hand-eye coordination, enough quickness. I can hit a straight ball.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm in the JUCO. I'm about 21. I have no discipline, none. I drink. I smoke pot. I'm chasing skirts.
Yeah.
I got a child. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go to class. Like I'm not disciplined at all.
I'm partying with
I'm
TP.
partying. I'm not working out or nothing, right? But I'm playing high level college baseball. JUCO team that I played on was 6th in the nation. No matter, we're playing this team, and I'm standing up there, and this dude throws the ball at my head, right? So
But it cut, didn't it?
it cut, and the arm goes straight. At that moment, I was done. At that moment, I said, I can't hit that.
I can't do
I'm
that.
out of here. I'm done. I was done.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the season.
People.
I was done, sir. I walked away. So, in JUCO, you go to school in second semester. The season starts like February, March. I made it to like April.
Yeah.
I played a lot of games, but I didn't finish the season. I was done. I couldn't hit the curveball. My batting average was like 220. I was like, I've never suffered like this.
We can work with you.
That's what I had a scout tell me that.
We can work with you on 220.
I had a scout tell me that. I was like, man, you know what?
You know what we got to do?
What?
We got to throw a few curveballs and hit you with them.
I
And you
was
just got to
done.
get used to it and not be afraid. And once you see it breaking, then you're going to know.
I was done. So let me get back to my Chris Rock story. So anyway.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. It's good because it's all relative. So Nelly threw this party in St. Louis. Nelly didn't throw it. The movie had their premiere.
I yelled at a ref 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it. I'm not that guy. My son is 8 years old. He's playing 8-year-old co-ed soccer. They're not really keeping score. No one gives a.
And here you go.
And the whole season, I don't say forever, and cause I'm a soccer. That's my sport, soccer. But I don't coach or nothing because
No.
I'm going to get too heavily invested.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
backing away, let them have fun.
Yes.
I'm watching the game, and this ref calls offsides from the other side of the field, and I was like, in my head, how did this guy see that? No fucking way. But whatever. Go on.
You keeping your cool at
I'm
this
keeping my
point.
cool. But this ref does not like our coach or our team. He gave it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then so 10 minutes later, we get in same area where the offsides was, but now the ref is right in there. We get a kick. And the other team grabs it, jumps it with their hands, puts it down, and this is a handball. This is an automatically open penalty kick where you're going to get a goal. No call. I go, are you kidding me? I go, you saw the offsides from way down there, but you didn't see that blatant handball?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and like, about to give me a yellow card. And
To
it's
go
like,
home? He's gonna say
he
yo?
left me there. I was like,
Oh, shit. Man, it happens.
I almost apologized to him afterwards.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yep. It happens. It happens. And as a devil,
But the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, why did you do that? That was so stupid.
so you caught yourself, and I'm glad you did, because I was going to offer you a special discount into my parenting class for youth sports.
Okay.
I'm working on sportsmanship.
Okay.
It's called Without Refs. It's just a scrimmage.
Yeah.
For parents like you.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk
Not
to the
like
refs.
me, not like- yeah, I know.
They get $30. Okay? You
know.
get what you pay for.
I thought that. I thought that too. I was like, this is just some kid. He doesn't need. It's some like 17-year-old.
Yeah.
He's a high school soccer player. He doesn't need me yelling at him at an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But I was like, again, backstory. He kicked our coach out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he doesn't call it fair on our team.
Uh-huh.
And to be fair, this is something I've noticed in my own head. I like to analyze a lot of things in my head and town. It doesn't mean it's true, but it's what I do. For a long time, I think black teams, not black people, black uniform teams are always the best. They're always better. And our team's the black team.
That's why teams wear all black.
And I'm like, and I've noticed we're a little bit better, and we always get the refs call our games.
You guys are a little bit more aggressive.
I don't even know about that, but we get called like we are.
You're renegades. Listen,
but it's like, but I've always noticed, like, why are like black uniform teams they just always seem better.
Man, we can talk about this forever, because this is another thing that I have to leave here to go do my youth basketball officiating.
Okay.
So I ref youth sports. I've been doing it for a long time. This is why when you said 8 or 9 years old.